Hello, and we are live. Welcome to the Dream Career Doctor YouTube channel. So happy to have you here. And we are live here watching or attending the Think and Grow Rich masterclass sessions. And this is based on the book by Napoleon Hill. So happy to have you here. So excited to have you here. Hi, welcome to the Dream Career Doctor YouTube channel. It's Susanna, the Dream Career Doctor, and I'm happy to have you here. We are on our episode 6 of our masterclass sessions that we are doing and gifting to you. Hopefully you are getting some enjoyment, getting some results if you're truly following all of the sessions. So definitely want you to go through all of them and write out your action plan, all right? And take action, all right? So today we're actually going to cover yet another one of the principles that Napoleon Hill, the author and the researcher, has put together for us on how to be successful. So if you're ready, let's roll with it, okay? So, as I stated, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to take a look at Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and we are looking at the next topic. So let's go ahead and change this little slide so you can see that next topic. So that next topic is pleasing personality. So we're going to take a look at the 17 principles, just a quick overview of where we are. We're going to go right into the pleasing personality topic because that is where we are today. And then we're going to talk about some action steps. And this one, you know, it kind of is, it's pretty, and most of these are, it's pretty simple, right? So it's pretty simple. Tactics, actions, reasons for doing certain things to get certain things. So here's another one, pleasing personality. You know, every time I think about this one or I'm at this one, I'm thinking, you know, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Boop, boop. You know, basically, it's, are you a person that others would want to play with? You know, are you that person in the sandbox that is attracting people to you? And if you're not, then, you know, let's talk about it, because what we're learning here in this series is that most successful people have a pleasing personality. Yeah, it's one of the principles. So, hey, let's talk about it. So, what are we here? What are we here to discuss, and what do we know? So, if you've done this correctly, you have already been through the definiteness of purpose, the mastermind alliance, the going the extra mile, and the applied faith topics. So now we are on the pleasing personality topic, okay? All right. So the pleasing personality, just got another little quote here from our good friend Napoleon Hill. And basically it's think twice before you speak. Your words and the influence that you have will actually plant seeds of either success or failure. And not just your mind, but somebody else's. So be careful. Be careful. All right. So let's talk about why it is so important to have a pleasing personality. And I'm going to come back to me because this one's a good one, y'all. And I heard someone else talk about this today too. And I love to talk about this topic because it is Dale Carnegie who actually came up with the book of how to win friends and influence people. But it is Andrew Carnegie and our good friend Napoleon Hill that came up with all of these different successes, right? And one of them is this pleasing personality. And at the end of the day, basically what this one is telling us is get the focus off of you. Basically, in any situation, you don't want to focus on yourself. You want to focus on other people. If you can do that, you can get anything that you want. It's yours. So why not do it? Okay? I'm telling you, quick and easy, simple. Like you can stop the tape right now and leave with your bags packed because you have the key. You have the key. Focus on others, whether it's in a conversation, whether it's in a conversation with your boss, your coworkers, your whomever it is, a new person that you've met. Focus, focus, focus on them. Again, where your focus goes, that's where the energy flows. So if you give them all of your focus, that energy is going to go to them, and you are going to be like, oh, the best person in the world, the most eloquent, the best listener, all of it. Okay? That's what you want. So let's just look at the slides that I prepared for you just for your benefit. Okay, so again, a pleasing personality, focus on others. This is what's going to determine whether you are going to attract or detract people and things, success towards you. All right, so towards you or against you. All right, so make sure that you know that others, this one's important here, others decide whether or not you have a pleasing personality. You can't just go off and tell people, yes, I have an awesome personality. I am so nice. I am such a great listener. Not how it works. You are going to be judged by others here. So if you're going to be judged by others, guess what? Give them all of the right answers. Give them all of your attention and give them all of the energy so that they can say, yep, ooh, yeah, that's Susanna. She is what? Best person ever. That's what you want. So it's all about your spirit and it's all about your enthusiasm. If you can master those two words and if you can master those two things, oh my goodness. Again, you will have it all. And I don't want you to go too far. I mean, I don't want you to be like a cheerleader or anything, because we'll talk about that in a minute, but that's just fake. Oh, that's totally fake. Like, I am all for acting because I'm a great actress. But when it's fake and it's not the right time, it's not going to work. So here it is. Look at this slide. I want you to look at it. Enthusiasm is the mainspring of the soul. Y'all, of the soul. That's so deep. Literally. Of the soul. So if it's the mainspring of the soul, and then if you keep it wound up and you do it right, you'll never be without power to get what you need. Are y'all hearing me? I'm giving y'all the tools. I'm giving you all the tools. I'm just going to sit here just for a second. I want you to take this in. Like, repeat this. Like, write this down and remind yourself. Like, if you need to reprogram yourself, this is one to put in your program, okay? In your script, in your whatever you want to call it. Put it in there. Do it. All right? All right. So I'll move on to the next very specific ones. And this is, going back to Napoleon Hill and very specifically what he talks about and what he believes are the things that we need to stay focused on. Now, I will say that Napoleon Hill, this was back in the 30s. So we got to kind of put a little bit of context to it. There are some things that are in this book that you will probably not agree with, okay? Because just the way that things are said, back in the day, it wasn't an issue of being politically correct or PC or sensitive, or, so there are some things that may hurt some people's feelings. But I want you to look at it still in the context of when it was written, and look at what he says about certain things, and how still you can overcome, and how still there are certain things that he still wanted you not to fall into certain traps. But I'm going to talk specifically about just some things that are very highlighted in a couple of his speeches. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go through the entire book, because if you want to read it, again, you can download it, you can get it from the library, you can order it from Amazon, get it yourself. So lots of different ways that you can go off and get all of the details. But here it is. There are a list of different personality traits, and we're going to highlight just 4 here that Napoleon Hill talks to us about, that you have to have in order to soar, in order to be the most pleasingest of personalities. Okay. So it's all about the mental attitude. We've already talked a little bit about that. It's about your flexibility of kind of going with the flow and not letting others' emotions affect you. So you've got to go in positive, and you've got to be ready to stay positive. And that's often hard, right? So you've got to know when it is that you are being thrown negative, and still how to combat it with the positive. Okay. So then the third thing he talks about specifically is your ability to control and direct enthusiasm, because again, sometimes you don't want to go too fake. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm just going to laugh at your every joke, even though none of them are funny like at all. And nobody else is laughing, and you are laughing hysterically. So there are certain things that when you are enthusiastic, you don't want to go overboard. And then just sincerity of purpose, that you want to go into most conversations, you want to go into most interactions, just being sincere, and just making sure that, again, that whatever it is that you're portraying on your face, your body language, all of it is important. All right. And so then he talks to us about what can destroy the interaction, right? What can destroy the view others have of your personality. All right. So these are some that I'm telling you, you still see them today. But people interrupting conversations, not just interrupting, but like taking it over. And then again, remember, I already told you what the winner is. The winner is keep all the focus on the other person. You can't do that if you're interrupting. You can't do that if you are being sarcastic and calling all attention on you and just going overboard and just doing too much, right? And then being very vain. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. And then just not being a good listener. And then again, here it is again, flattery that is just so out of place that it's like, really, really? And then also kind of looking at more faults than the positives. And just this list, you can see why it is that it's on the destructive list, right? All of these different items, they belong here. Just challenging for no good reason, just giving advice when it's not needed. Now, sometimes this we have to be very careful of, because other people are not going to take your advice if they're not ready to receive it. And that's oftentimes the trick in communication, because you have to listen for your turn, and this is not just in conversation, because if you're a good listener, then you're giving feedback, you're letting the other person know that you're listening, you're kind of mimicking what they've told you, you're summarizing, you're validating. But when it's your turn to give advice, you have to ask permission, or you have to have them ask for it. If you don't do either one of those two things, it's going to be out of place, and they're not going to do what you want them to do, and then there's a miscommunication. So we can go on and on with that one. But also focusing on your challenges and your deficiencies and you. Again, anything that focuses on you, and even more so when it's like, oh, I don't have, woe is me, all of that. And then to the other end of just being more superior or just acting like you're more superior, really. And just that's a turn off. And then also just really talking bad about any successful people, because of course that shows you're envious. And then the last one here that he talks about is just being careless in your appearance. This one is very interesting because we can talk about personal brand all day, but at the end of the day, if you're supposed to be in a particular place and you look like you're out of place, then it's probably not what you're going for. And you want to make sure that if you're supposed to be in any particular place, that you look like you belong. Now, we've already talked about standing out, but that's in action. That's when you're giving back. That's when you are really focused on giving, on serving. Now, when you're careless in appearance and you're standing out, yeah, that's not going to work out for you. So you want to make sure that that's not the reason that you're standing out. Okay, that's not the reason. If that's the reason, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. All right. Let me do a little check-in here. What do you think? So far, so good? That makes sense? I mean, these are, again, things that we should know, right? But I'm going to tell you. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get careless on purpose, right? And then we forget that we are only hurting ourselves by doing any one of these things that are on that list. So we want to make sure that we are aware. We are aware of what we have going on. Okay? That sounds fair? All right, well, let me go back to this slide that I started showing you here, because this one might ruffle a few feathers. If somebody doesn't like you, there's probably a reason. And you won't know until you ask somebody or until somebody tells you. Now, there are people out there that don't like you just because. Now, we're not worried about those people. We're worried about the people that we are trying to influence, that we want to like us so that we can get further in our goal. So if there is a reason for us to have a good relationship, then I care. All right. So if you care, if I care, then I'm going to need to ask somebody, and let me tell you, they must tell you the truth. And then you may have to still pay somebody to tell you. And I'm going to tell you why. Napoleon Hill, again, he gives us good examples. He gave us an example of even Andrew Carnegie doing this with his very own money. Like, he paid somebody to tell him the truth. You see all of these people all the time. What do they call them? Advisors, coaches. These are the people that are telling these individuals what they're doing well and what they're not doing well. So you want the same thing. Don't you want the same thing? I want you to think about some people that you know are uber successful. And I want you to look up whether or not they've ever had an advisor, a coach, an assistant, somebody that was their right-hand person that pretty much told them when they were doing things well and when they weren't. I want you to look it up, and you'll see people will pay, because those are going to be the people that will tell you the truth. I promise you. Very important. Think about it. Think about it. Now, here in this topic, let's go back to our slides here. We're focused on you. We are focused on you and your light, and we want to make sure that your path is well lit. The only way to do that is first of all, from the get, to start from within. If you start from within and you are ready to then shine it outward, then you're going to get that back. But you have to be ready and you have to be willing. so that you can share that with others. All right. And that pleasing personality is so important. So important. How important is it? It's so important that you have homework. That's right. Now, you are going to have to go out there and figure out how you're going to get feedback. You're going to have to get feedback on your own personality and see if you're doing things well. Are you a good listener? Are you showing up right in the right space at the right time? Get that feedback. Find somebody that you can trust that will tell you the truth. Okay, and then see what you can improve and do it. Do it. Do it. You want to make sure that you have that pleasing personality, because if you don't, you are detracting. You're detracting from your brand. You're detracting from it every day. Negative, negative, negative. You want positive. You want positive, positive. All right? Make sense? Y'all, that's it. Pleasing personality. I gave you the tools. You got them. Look up some more if you need to. Now, I want you to make sure that you follow me, follow me, follow me. All right? Hey, I want you to follow me. Follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. I want you to like and share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Do it all. Do it all. Let me know if this is working for you. Let me know the benefits. Let me know the outcomes. I would so appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here, watching this episode of Think and Grow Rich, our Learn in Action Masterclass series here. And hopefully this is beneficial. And make sure, again, that you like and subscribe. And make sure that you watch the other videos. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. All right. So again, it's Susanna Reyes Lee, the Dream Career Doctor, signing out. Thanks for joining me.